Hello BBN. Could Kentucky have 3 concerns for the basketball team this new season? Could it be terrible? Let's analyze, because I want to hear your opinion at the end of the video. Enjoy and subscribe to the channel. The 2025-26 Kentucky basketball season promises to be one of the most exciting chapters of the Mark Pope era. With a roster full of talent, including high-profile transfers and young prospects, expectations are sky-high. However, like any sports team, there are concerns that could shape the success or challenges of this campaign. 3 specific issues have caught the attention of fans and analysts. Jaylen Lowe's shooting performance, the definition of the backup point guard, and Jaden Quaintance's recovery from a serious injury. First, the Jaylen Lowe challenge. Decisive shooting for an elite point guard. Jaylen Lowe comes to Kentucky after a solid but imperfect season at Pitt. He led the Panthers in scoring, averaging an impressive 16.8 points per game. But his shooting numbers have raised concerns. Shooting 37.6% from the field and just 26.6% from 3 are stats that need to improve. If he wants to establish himself as an elite point guard at Kentucky, this drop in efficiency can be attributed to the fact that Lowe was the primary offensive weapon on his former team, something that won't be necessary in Lexington, where the offense is more diverse. Coach Mark Pope has already expressed confidence in his potential, outlining specific plans to adjust Lowe's style of play and improve his efficiency. During summer camp, Lowe showed positive signs, drawing attention to his technical development and adapting to the system. However, the pressure on him is immense, especially since he will be the starting point guard and the maestro of the offense. If Lowe can make the leap he hopes to become a consistent playmaker and long-range threat, Kentucky will have one of the most complete teams in the country. But if he can't, that gap could limit the team's collective growth. According to the backup point guard question, another critical issue is the lack of a clear backup point guard. Following the departure of Jaden Lewis, while Kentucky has a versatile group of players at the position, including Denzel Aberdeen, Jasper Johnson, and Colin Chandler, it's still unclear who will step into that role. All of these players have the skills to play both point guard and small forward, but their ability to drive the offense in crunch time is something that needs to be proven. Denzel Aberdeen seems like the favorite to take on that responsibility, given his experience and vision. If he excels in that role, it will significantly bolster the depth of the roster, allowing Mark Pope to better manage his players' minutes and keep the team competitive throughout the game. However, if Aberdeen struggles, the onus will fall entirely on Jaylen Lowe, who could end up being overwhelmed with excessive minutes. This could compromise both his individual performance and the team's overall performance. And third, the recovery of Jaden Quaintance, a bet on the future. The Arizona State transfer is one of Kentucky's big bets for the season, projected as a lottery pick in the 2026 NBA draft. He has the potential to be one of the dominant centers in college basketball. However, his arrival is shrouded in uncertainty due to the ACL surgery he recently underwent. Injuries of this nature require time and patience to fully recover, and there is always the risk of complications or delays in returning to previous levels of performance. Fortunately, Kentucky has Brandon Garrison, an elite center, who can take over while Quaintance continues his rehabilitation. But the question remains, to what extent will Quaintance's early absence affect Mark Pope's tactical planning? If Quaintance's recovery timetable is delayed or he fails to return to peak fitness, it could create a void in the paint that even Garrison can't fill. On the other hand, if Quaintance comes back strong and on schedule, he could be the difference maker that leads Kentucky to new heights. These 3 concerns are real, but they're also fixable. Kentucky has a history of overcoming adversity and turning doubts into strengths, especially with guys like Pope. Let's wait and see. But let me know what you think at the end of the video. Cal compared to Pope. Was that a surprise? Lexington has always been a melting pot of talent, dreams, and glory in college basketball. Each season, new stars emerge to rewrite the rich history of the Kentucky Wildcats, but few manage to leave as lasting a mark as Darius Miller, a player who has not only seen but also lived the transformations of this dynasty over the years. He was the sixth man on the 2012 national championship team, a role that perfectly defines his essence: consistent, resilient, and essential to collective success. Now, with the program entering a new era under Mark Pope, Miller has brought up some reflections. Miller, in his recent statements to Kentucky Sports Radio, revealed a fascinating insight into the different chapters of the program's history, comparing the methods of Billy Gillispie, John Calipari, and, of course, current coach Mark Pope. His words, full of admiration and insight, illuminate the work that is being done in Lexington under Pope's leadership. The former player was full of praise for his current coach, highlighting his methodical and strategic approach as something revolutionary in the game. "I really love Coach Pope," Miller said, emphasizing that Pope's approach to coaching his team is almost like a science. Every move, every play, seems to be thought out and executed with clear intent. This analytical and structured mindset has been a differentiator in modern basketball, where data and technology are increasingly present. It's interesting to note how Miller contextualizes this approach in relation to Calipari's legacy. During his time under the iconic coach, Miller experimented with a style of play that prioritized the creative freedom of his players. John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, and Jamal Murray are perfect examples of this. Players who shined individually within a system that allowed them to explore their maximum potential. Calipari has always been a master at giving his stars room to express themselves, a trait that deeply marked his era at Kentucky. However, Miller sees something equally valuable in Pope's philosophy. Although the approaches are different, they both have the same goal: to put players in a position to succeed. With Coach Pope, it's all about the finer details, but it puts you in a good position to showcase your game in a structured environment, Miller explained. This duality between creative freedom and technical discipline can be seen as a necessary balance for the program's growth. What's clear from Miller's words is that Kentucky basketball isn't just transitioning, it's evolving. With Mark Pope at the helm, there's a palpable sense of renewal, of something new being built without discarding what's already been accomplished. Pope's rookie season in Lexington was a clear sign that the future is bright. His ability to adapt the game to modern demands, combined with Kentucky's tradition of excellence, creates an exciting formula for the years to come. And who better to recognize that than someone who's been at the epicenter of that winning culture? Miller, with his experience and critical eye, has captured the essence of the program's current moment. At the same time, it's impossible not to look back and appreciate the glorious moments of the Calipari era. Those years were marked by epic victories, iconic players, and a style of play that captivated fans around the world. But basketball, like anything else, is cyclical. And while the past continues to be celebrated, the present offers a unique opportunity to shape the future. Under Pope's leadership, Kentucky is finding its own identity, one that respects its legacy but also dares to innovate. Darius Miller, with his wisdom and passion for the program, brought to light a reflection that goes beyond the court. He reminds us that Kentucky basketball is not just about winning or losing, but about constantly evolving. Whether it's through Calipari's creative freedom or Pope's technical precision, the ultimate goal remains the same: to develop players, build competitive teams, and keep alive the flame that makes Lexington one of the greatest hotbeds of basketball talent in the world. As the future unfolds, one thing is certain: Kentucky basketball is in good hands. With Mark Pope at the helm, the program not only honors its history, but also prepares to write new chapters. What do you think? Comment.